following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Arizona, this is Brother Mike. Welcome to Filthy Fridays. Welcome to the radio program. Thanks for tuning in. Today's Bible study, War is Hell. No kidding. Hey, call somebody and tell them the radio program's on, would you? War is Hell. What a nasty show this is. Sad one, too, but a good one at the end. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building. 2 services every week, live, 7 p.m. Pacific time, Thursdays and Friday nights. Preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance. Both services live streamed. YouTube.com/House of Healing AZ. This month's seminar will not be on our YouTube channel. It's on COVID-19 and vaccines. We are not going to broadcast it on our YouTube channel for fear of getting demineralized. But it will be broadcast on GodTube the following day. GodTube.com. Ministry name, Hardcore Christianity. By the way, that name is trademarked, and if you're using it to sell T-shirts and things like that, you need to stop. You can use Hardcore Christian. That's not trademarked, but Hardcore Christianity is a trademarked ministry name. When you go to the website, you'll see all of our free seminars and our training classes. Please sign up for them. If somebody needs to be delivered and they can't come to the Deliverance Center, send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com, and I will send you the Miracle List, a step-by-step guide to getting delivered, step-by-step. It has worked hundreds of times. It's free. Send me an email. I'll send it right away, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. Please remember Sister Karen on the homepage of the website if you're going to list your house for sale. She loves working with born-again Christians. Please remember we've doubled our children's deliverance services, having them every other month now. Check the website for dates and times. War is hell. Are you kidding me? Afghanistan. Little did we realize 20 years ago, Satan set this thing up and used George W. Bush and Dick Cheney to dump us into a quagmire, a nightmare that never ended. Never ended. And it just ended this week. What a laugher. It is not even close to being over. The Watson Institute at Brown University just released an updated accounting of the public expenditure. By the way, that would be you. You is a public expenditure. And the loss of life incurred by the Afghan conflict to date. Okay? What happened on this thing? Well, it was so simple and so easy to see. George W. Bush, used by Satan, right in the middle of the Afghan conflict where we were wiping out Al-Qaeda. And again, everybody was 100% involved in that and agreed with it. Hey, they blew up the Twin Towers. They supposedly didn't know about it beforehand. Yuck, yuck, yuck. The third tower imploded with nothing landing on it. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But anyway, that's a different radio show for a different time. They blew up the Twin Towers, supposedly, we all thought, and hey, they needed to pay for it. Okay, everybody was behind that. Got it. Right in the middle of that process, Bush decides he wants to go after Iraq. The entire war was based on satanic lies. Bush was a tool of Satan and got us involved in the biggest fiasco you could ever imagine. He took resources from Afghanistan to Iraq to blow that country up. You know the rest of the story. But at Brown University, they did research on what this 20-year war has cost us. Okay? The researchers found that up to 241,000 people have directly been killed in this war. They said in the research report, these figures they're throwing around do not include deaths caused by disease, loss of access to food, loss of access to water, death by damaged infrastructure, and other indirect consequences of war. Oh, no kidding. In other words, this is the minimal cost of this war. 20 years of satanic insanity. According to their report, over 2,400 U.S. military personnel died. And 13 of them died just last week. 6 of them were Department of Defense civilians. Listen to this. Over 3,800 of them were U.S. contractors. They weren't even in the military. They were working for the industrial military complex, making money off wars, which is exactly what your Congress loves to do. In addition, 66,000 military personnel from the Afghan national military and police died over 20 years. 66,000. We lost about 2,400 people in direct combat. Over 47,000 civilians were killed, which included 72 journalism and media workers, 444 humanitarian aid workers were killed. This war, caused by Bush and Cheney, cost the U.S. taxpayers $2.3 plus trillion, which we borrowed from China and India. That's nearly $15,000 per federal U.S. taxpayer. If you pay federal taxes, you paid $15,000 for this Afghan insanity. They said the $2.3 trillion is an underestimate of the full cost of this war. It doesn't include funds the United States government is obligated to spend on lifetime care for American veterans of the war who were injured. And it does not include future interest payments on the money we borrowed from China and India to fund this war. It doesn't include that. Can you imagine that? What in the world happened? Well, Jesus told you what happened. Luke chapter 14, Jesus said, quote, "What king going to make war against another king doesn't first sit down and consult whether he is able with 10,000 soldiers to meet him that comes against him with 20,000? Okay? What happened with Dick and Cheney and Obama and the rest of these imbeciles? They never sat down and counted the cost, which is what you're required to do if you want to be a born-again Christian and a servant of the Lord Jesus Christ. You've got to sit down and count the cost. We have so many people in ministry now who are chronic failures because they never counted the cost before they went into the ministry. You got to sit down and count the cost. I did it. 2005, I left my professional counseling practice. I had a secular counseling practice, booming, making over $100,000 a year, doing great, had it all in the bag, killing it. I sat down and looked at my finances. I looked at the income from my counseling practice. I looked at my investments. I looked at my assets. I looked at my real estate. I looked at this. I looked at that. And then I tried to figure out what would it cost me if I left my career and lost my income in my counseling practice. I sat down and said, what would I have to do to leave and go into the ministry as a Christian counselor in the field of healing and deliverance? What would I do? I sat down and counted the cost. Our U.S. military with Dick Cheney and Bush, two of the three stooges, did not do that. They did not sit down and count the cost for the Afghan war. Luke 21, Jesus said, when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified. Akatasasia is the Greek word for commotions there. It means national instability. Jesus said these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Great earthquakes shall be in divers places, famines, pestilences, fearful sights. Great signs there will be in heaven. Okay, this is ahead of us, folks. You think that we're having trouble now, and we are. You think this thing's bad now, and it is. This is what's ahead of us. The rapture and the tribulation are only a few years away now. You need to make major changes in your Christian life. You need to do it now. I can help you, 602-636-5800. Luke chapter 21, Jesus said, there shall be signs. That's the Greek word semeion. It means miracles. There shall be miracles in the sun, the moon, and the stars. The Greek word for stars there is interesting. Astron is the Greek word. It means constellations. It doesn't mean one star. It means collections of stars. There's going to be miracles in the constellations in the heavens. And then Jesus said, upon the earth, distress of nations, perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. What is that talking about? Tsunamis, earthquakes that happen under the ocean. Men's hearts will be failing them for fear. Apasuko is the Greek word. It means fainting in fear. Fainting. Men's hearts will be fainting over fear. And the fact that they're looking after those things coming on the earth. What does that mean? Prostokia is the Greek word for looking after there. It means anticipation. People are going to be fainting in fear, anticipating the things that are coming on the earth, not just the things that have already happened. Jesus said the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Listen to me, it's Filthy Friday, and this is the time for you to change your Christian life and make a complete reversal. Okay? Wednesday night we have Zoom deliverance services. Pick it up on the website for women and for men. If you need to be delivered and you cannot come to the Deliverance Center, get on one of our Zoom broadcasts on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And you can get the code. It's all on the website. You need to change your Christian life, and you need to change it ASAP, because war is hell, and hell is coming to breakfast.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.